Hi everyone. I'm just going to take you through our learner management system slash school manager. So this is going to be a perfect system for even private schools, anybody who's running any private lessons, even if it's a government institution, you can still use the system the same way. So we're just going to dive into the overview of the functions that we come across when we're using the system. And there's also a free trial period for 1 month, which you can access, just open a school, but it's still limited to um, 30 students. So you get free 30 students that you can add onto your system, which will be perfect for those that are running their private lessons. Um, they can enroll a total of 30 students, but this subscription plan only lasts for a month so that you're also able to see all the features that you can get access to. Mind you, whenever you get the free package as well, you get access to everything that's on our system. You have no limitations at all, but only the number of students that you can add to your system. So I'm just going to log in so that you can see the view that you see when you log into your school system. All right. So now we're logging into our system. So the the owner of the school or the administrator can be the one who has access to the main school account. So the admin is the one who sets up the school. So, for example, they have to put up the logo. As you can see from this section here, where it's written Doreen Parkles, it's just an example of a school, then the school logo, so that when students are getting into your system, they already know that this is part of your school. This is where you have your chats, your interactions within the school when you're sending each other messages. This will also help to keep sort of a trail of your chats within the organization. That's where you put also the profile picture. Probably you can put the logo. This was just an example, but you can put it as the name of the school instead of the example that I've put up there. So as you can see, the dashboard is already telling you the number of students that we have. We've only one. We didn't add any teachers. There's no teachers that we've added so far. That's the attendance. Attendance can also be checked within the system. Our staff members, the total staff members, still one because we haven't really added. I'm still the admin for the school. Then the parents that have access to the system, we still haven't added any parents for any students. Then income is just a dashboard to show you how much you are probably generated based on maybe revenue and against your expenses as a school. Then events. This is where we put up all our events that are seen by the parents, the students, the staff members. Everybody can see all these events. If there's any big events like gala or anything that you're trying to put up, or charity events that you're setting up, they can all be seen in the system. All right. So when you first log into the system, it takes you to the back office mainly. Then it takes you to this page where you see the subscription plans first before you start accessing the system, because you only be able to see this page first where you check your subscription plan. So as we speak, I'm on the current basic plan, which is 31 days, um, which is at $1. The reason why it's $1, we have different quotations that we give for the number of students that a school has. So we prefer the school to get in touch with us via our email and let us know how best we can assist with regards to the number of students that they have, so that we can create a package that aligns with what they want to achieve. But we have standardized packages. that we already have. So it depends with how many students that the school has. Then we can discuss on which package will be perfect for you. So on this page, you click you take the first free package, then you can start using the system. So as you can see, we've already gone through the dashboard. We're now going to go through the users. So here is a section where we put add more users to the system, right? We've got different users within the school, like the admin, that is me, who has already opened the school. Then there's the teachers. Then there's accountant, or if there's assistant accountants, that will be there as well. We add their profiles from this point. Librarians, the parent, the student, then also managing teacher permissions, because we need to set restrictions for some teachers to access more or have more functionality within the system, and some teachers not to have more functionality. Some teachers may be head of departments within the school, so they might need more access to functionality within the system. So here we've got the section where there's a parent. It means that we can add a parent, then add a student to that parent, so that that parent can see the account that the student sees. So if anything is to happen within the student's account, it also happens to the parent's account, so that they keep track of what's happening within the student's account. Then we've got admissions. Admissions, this is where we sort of do our enrollment as a school when we're taking up on students, right? We put out their name, the email, the password. Mind you, this password and the email, this is what will help them to also log into the system, so that they are part of the school, so that they also manage to log in. So remember, the password that we're going to put here is a password that should be known by the student. So it's good for them to actually create their own accounts. But when we are doing the migration from maybe the manual aspect to the new system, we may have to do this as in bulk. So we may use an Excel sheet where we will put all the number of students that we have within our school. Then we can upload as one single file, so that we immediately cut on time to enter them into the system one by one. Then we put them across, right? Then we move on to transport. Here we have the driver section, where we add all the drivers that we have in the school that are allowed to drive, that have been vetted, and we know that they are qualified to drive. Then here is the section where we add all the vehicles that are in the school and what their purpose is. So for example, we can just open one, so that we can just see how this looks. So as we are seeing on our forms right now, on our display per se, we're not seeing any vehicles at the moment, because we haven't added any vehicles at all. So it means we would have to create. There's always a create button on the right side of the screen. If you can see my mouse, it's hovering on top of the button there. That's when you create a vehicle, chassis number, and all that. You detail it in there. Then you go on to the next section on assigning the student. It means that all the students that have already paid for transport, you're already aware of them as a school. So you start assigning them to those vehicles that are already in the system. And also the driver is also assigned to that transport that they're going to be providing, be it a bus, be it we call it a combi, yeah, be it a combi. Then we move on to examinations, right? Um, on this category, we can create sort of even offline exams that we want them to take offline, or we can create exam timetables that we can put into the system, and then students can actually see this from their accounts, even from their phone. They can access this even from their phone. Then marks will also be entered by each teacher. So each student that is already taken up maybe an exam, all their marks would already been entered into the system. So whenever they've done marking that exam, the teachers add the marks. Then collectively, when teachers are adding all these marks, it's already auto generating that report for that end of term exam. So eventually the grades need to be set up as well to say if somebody is at 60%, is that a B or is that an A? So grades need to be set up according to the curriculum that the school is using. Then admit card and printing admit card. It means when somebody is part of or he's allowed to be part of writing the final exams, they can be able to print their card from this section because they've already been allowed to be part of that exam. So per se, maybe there are invigilators that are actually at the door checking all these admit cards to make sure that they're already paid for them to write their exams. So this is really, really a good, useful tool. Then we go on to academic, right? So here we can mark attendance. So even though if it's manual, but if attendance is recorded on the digital system, it will also help to check which students need more help who are not really attending classes, and also have to have discussions with those parents. Maybe they're struggling somewhere somehow. Then we've got the class list. We every teacher will be assigned to their class, all the classes that teacher is teaching, and all the students will be assigned to that teacher as well as a class and as a classroom as well. So it'll be easy to track or pinpoint or understand how the school is looking from the system. Then the class routine, this will be the timetable, the subject, meaning the subjects that we have as a school. Then we've got the grade books, the books that these people have, that the students have to have access to, will still also need to be added digitally if you want them to be. Then syllabus, you can upload the syllabus so that students know what syllabus we're using, when we're addressing topics, what are we trying to achieve, what are our learning outcomes, and all that. They can also have access to download this on their own. Then the classroom, you list all the classrooms that you have within the school so that you are able to assign these students to their classes. Then the departments, you also have departments in a school. So this takes you through a detailed step-by-step guide of detailing how the school structure is, from departments to classrooms to grades to sections. Then you assign the teachers, the students, on and on, right? Then we've got accounting. There's student fee manager where you can manage all the fees. As soon as you have approved any receipts or invoice numbers, you can add them to the system so that it notifies the parent, the student, to know that yes, that fees that we paid at the bank and we uploaded that picture on their own, maybe at home. They don't need to come to the school. They can take a picture and upload it onto the app. Then the school can, or the school admin would approve to say yes, we've confirmed with the bank, we've received the payment. So there's no need for any interaction with the school, so they can have that on there. Then there's offline payment request, whereby the school maybe also accepts cash. If they accept cash, they can receive those amounts, or if it's all via the bank. So this offline payment request means that the parent can go and pay fees at the bank, then come with the receipt. Then the school can also add that onto the system, and the seamless interaction between, or seamless communication for this, right? Then we've got the expense manager, where you're incurring expenses as a school. You're trying to hire out some stuff that you want to do, some teachers or some courses that need to be added onto the school. You can add all these expenses so that it also tracks on your expenses. Then your dashboard will tell you your revenue against the expenses that you're incurring for that period, right? Then expense categories. You can create as many categories. Maybe it could be infrastructure, or maybe furniture category. So as an expense, then all these categories will also accumulate to a point where it's measured against the total fees that's being paid, or the charges, or the fees that are being paid by the students, so that you can see the income within a click of a button without really going over to calculate anything. Then we've got online courses. Online courses, that's where teachers can create a course, an online course for their students to enroll them so that they can do online learning at self-paced times, or the teacher can also set deadlines to say this course should be done at this certain date. So students who are already assigned to complete that course, they will do it. An example will be onboarding course, where your grade ones or your form ones or new students that come to the school, they need to be enrolled in on an onboarding course that you've created as a school, so that they learn about the culture, the how you guys operate as a school, where things are, the geography of the school, sports, what anything else, any resources that that student needs to know about the school. Then enroll them onto that course so that they are knowledgeable, so they can do it in their own time, but there'll be deadlines for them to do the course. Then we've got human resources, where we've got user roles, user list. It means that individuals that we've added into the system, we can manage them from this point. So we've got attendance, and we've got um, leave and payroll as well. This is very good feature. It's a very good feature, whereby the school admin can receive all this, and the teacher doesn't necessarily need to write down any manual forms. That they can literally request this at the convenience of maybe at home or in their office, or during their break, but using their phone or laptop. So this would be a really cool feature. Then inventory manager. This is where we manage everything that we have within the school, from as little as a pen to a chair to a desk to a building to a balls for sports to everything. We can add that into the system and consistently update this to know what we have within the school. So there's the inventory manager. Then you can create categories, maybe sports, you create infrastructure, you create furniture, you create all the categories, so that it's easier to track on what's happening within your school with the at your fingertips. So what you buy and what you sell. Sometimes you might sell some things within the school, maybe auction them out. Those reports you can put them up as well. So this is now a space where students can interact and find out about events. When you want to announce something around for the school, so that parents, students can see this, this is where you do that on events and gallery. Events, that's where you get it. Then on the alumni, this is where even students, when they leave the school, they're still part of you because they still have accounts, they still have access to this section as well. Then the message SMS center, this is where you can broadcast a message to the school, the parents, or anybody that's within the system, right? Then we've got assignments. So on assignments, this is where teachers can give students assignments to do, be it offline or online. So if they want, uh, um, it's maybe an assignment that they're supposed to complete online also. Then we've got the last section, the back office, right? On the back office, this is where we have the notice board, the subscription, book issuing, those books that we've already put up at the grade books, then issuing them to individuals. We can issue even physical books that are in the school, right? Then events, then this feature that I like is the feedback feature, where you can feedback this information to the parent within the system. It could be anything. It could be maybe consultation. They failed to come for their consultation, but you can feedback. Each teacher can feedback on their student based on their subject and what they teach to the parent. Then the parent will see that feedback individually from, oh, this feedback came from your geography teacher. They say that your performance is like this. You need to improve here, here. So eventually, you don't necessarily need to be there for the consultation. That's if you didn't manage to attend. So I think that's just about the system overview. And I think it's worth just getting in and then trying it out on your own and see if it works for you. Add some students. If you need help, always get in touch with us so that we take you through the steps on how to do this more effectively.